I realize that with all this positive Vikings talk, we're really just setting ourselves up for the inevitable disaster. But still, I think the Vikings have done a pretty fine job this offseason. And continuing this positive talk, I believe that 2021 will be, or at least it's shaping itself up to be, Kirk Cousins' career best season. I have 3 reasons why, starting with number 1, the offensive line. Prior to signing with Minnesota back in 2018, Kirk Cousins spent his previous 6 seasons with the Washington football team. And at that point in time, 6 seasons in the league, he is who he is. He's a pocket passer. Very rarely does he extend plays, although I will say, I feel like at times last year, 2020, he showed flashes of doing so. But you know who he is. He needs an offensive line. Knowing that, the previous 3 seasons, 18, 19, and 20, the Vikings, they've taken the approach of Scotch tape on the offensive line. Go back to Tennessee last year. I mean, the final drive, the interior offensive line fell apart. Fast forward to now, you have Wyatt Davis, who I believe may make life a little bit easier for Garrett Bradbury, if nothing else, with the help blocks. Because as offensive linemen, once in a while, whether it's based off scheme or whatever, sometimes you don't have a man, you don't have a pass rusher in your zone. Wyatt Davis, his help blocks are insane. This dude will come over. Let's say no one's in his zone to pass protect against. He looks over, Garrett Bradbury may be struggling. Wyatt Davis will come over and bam, lay a dude out. He's an enforcer, and he should make life just a little bit easier for Garrett Bradbury. Brian O'Neill, he's going to have a bounce-back season in 21. Christian Darrisaw at left tackle. I believe that we are on the cusp of seeing an offensive line worth a damn, having Kirk Cousins back, something we've been asking for as Vikings fans forever. Reason number 2, the defense. Last year, Kirk Cousins and Dalvin Cook carried this team, oftentimes having to clean up the defense's mess. I think this year is going to be different. It's not going to be the same. With a healthy defense, along with the free agent signings that you brought in, and to some degree, along with some of the draft picks you made defensively, I think this defense is going to put the offense in a position to where more often than not, especially compared to last year, they can set the tone for the game against their opponents. And reason number 3, the motivation factor, which I believe 99% of the time is such horseshit, is such a cliche. Oh, no one believes in us. Let's get motivated. It's like, oh my God, stop it. But when it's a personal hit, sometimes it can result in a higher level of play. Zach Brown, from the formerly of the Philadelphia Eagles in 2019, ahead of the Vikings versus Eagles game at US Bank Stadium, in which I was in attendance for, Zach Brown said of Kirk Cousins, quote, "Cousins, I think every defense is going to want that guy to throw the ball. For me, that's probably the weakest part of their offense is him. Everything else is good. They've got a good running game, probably one of the best in the league. They have real good receivers. You just want them to pass the ball. You want Kirk Cousins to get it in his hands." The results of that game, Kirk Cousins completed 22 of 29 passes for 333 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception, in which, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that interception was a drop pass by Stephon Diggs, which ended up in the hands of the Philadelphia Eagles in a blowout win for the Vikings, 38-20. And after that game, I remember the media asked Kirk Cousins, "Hey, what is your response to Zach Brown?" He said, "Oh, I don't even know what was said." Yes, you do. You totally know what was said. Before the playoff game against the Saints that same year, 2019, Cam Jordan went on Rich Eisen's show, made a complete mockery out of Kirk Cousins. What happened? Overtime, Kirk Cousins throws the fade route to the left to Kyle Rudolph for a touchdown pass to end the game. And even though Kirk Cousins had pressure in his face on that play, Cam Jordan was too busy watching that play happen as he got locked up by Brian O'Neill. So there's that. All I'm saying is that Kirk Cousins has demonstrated that he plays with an extra edge to his game when he's grossly disrespected. So what does that have to do with now? I'll tell you what. Kirk Cousins, he has ears, he has eyes, he sees what's going on here. Vikings drafted Kellen Mond in the 3rd round after reportedly trying to trade up in the 1st round to land Justin Fields. And add on top of that, Justin Jefferson's recent interview with Colin Cowherd, which I strongly believe was not intentionally meant to slight Kirk Cousins, but I would imagine for Kirk Cousins, that's an extra layer of disrespect that he probably feels from his own team. He knows the jig is up. He knows the Vikings are trying to move on as quickly as possible. And at this point, he has to know that he's auditioning himself to the rest of the league to try to get one more lucrative contract by the time his current one expires. And he'll show up to training camp, and Rick Spielman and Mike Zimmer, they'll smile to his face and, "Hey, how's it going, bud? You ever show up to a job where you know that you're about to get fired?" And what do? Do you show up visibly angry with vengeance on the mind? Maybe. Or, best case scenario, what's better for you long term, beef up your resume, learn some new skills, make yourself more marketable to other companies, and then you can give yourself a shot to leave your current job on your own terms. I think if everything gels out the way it is, the way it's looking, I think Kirk Cousins could go nuclear this 2021 season. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Next podcast is tomorrow. We'll see you then.